mean, obviously you got Taekwondo for the kicks, you got, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you got wrestling, you got Judo, you got Aikido. I'm trying to think what else. Kabuto, the way of weapons. You have GKD, a little bit of Bruce Lee system because I train with a lot of those guys. Kung Fu. So we just mixed it. So that's why I got along good with martial artists because I can kind of, relate if you're one style or Johnny's Kung Fu. I would, mix it up and stuff like that. So, I think Kung Fu's really cool because then you could be like Hollywood Kung Fu, like, oh, you want to fight? Fight me! Here! So I think that's pretty cool.
I like the way you pronounce Kung Fu. That's
Kung Fu!
Reminds me
Tranquility!
Reminds me when I was growing up, guys used to come up to me and go, well, hey, you little Asian boy, you do some Kung Fu?
Kung Fu.
You gonna do some Kung Fu, little Asian boy?
And you got ching ching style. Ching ching, what up?
And I was actually wondering, Dan, how are you liking BJJ?
I like it. I'm really digging it. One thing I like about it is my face doesn't get smashed in as much.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's kind of nice. It's hard work, but I'm used to it from the wrestling, and I'm picking it up really quickly because I wrestled competitively and did judo competitively, so I'm enjoying it.
When we roll, he locks eyes with me all the time. It's kind of weird.
That's my special move, the eye lock.
It's a good one. I'm going to use that.
Even when we're not rolling.
They call it cut. I know.
I'm gonna do that. I like that.
First one, big budget. Yeah. And the second one felt like episodes. First thing we saw the Spandex, we're like, oh man, we're back to Spandex again. I thought it was gonna be pretty cool. But and then we read, every time we read the script, I know Narvy too, and I'm sure you too. It's like we're here or in Hawaii. I don't know. You were in space. I don't know. Yeah. But so we'd read it and be like, oh, cool, we're going to Hawaii. No, the park, Castaic Park.
Yeah.
Oh, we got this Castaic Park.
Castaic.
Yeah. And we shot everything there. And
Kenneth Hahn too.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Kenneth
Yeah, I mean,
Hahn.
literally, a lot of those park sequences in the first season, if they would have turned the camera this much that way, you'll see an oil derrick drilling for oil. Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, the first movie, it was it was a big budget. It was it was huge, and the second movie was good too. But I think me and Catherine went to Tennessee and got stuck in Tennessee, and
I remember
think Amy and Austin went to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, a couple of us went to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's really good.
I went to Hawaii
I was
for
in Tennessee.
24 hours.
Yeah, I didn't go.
That's
right.
I remember thinking that first movie looked good, man.
You got to go to Tennessee. I mean,
dude.
that's further away than
Yeah, that was
Hawaii.
great. It was great. Bless you.
Thank you, sir, for your comment.
Thank you.
Tennessee is not further away than Hawaii.
Tennessee? Oh, come on. Okay, you're right.
where?
I'm trying to make him feel better. Look at him. He's shattered. He is shattered.
First one. Yes.
Have you ever been out in public and heard a sound effect from the show and had an instant reaction?
1 million times.
Like you hear the communicator.
I think the
and you go to
people that
answer your
behind
wrist?
you think it's like, deet, deet. They're like, oh, we're going to get it, dude, 1 million times. And I'll tell you this, though, I don't blame you guys because I was sitting on the airplane and LL Cool J and I had nothing to say to him. He said, Mama said, knock you out. Mama said, knock. And I was doing everything that everyone does to us. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And yeah, I just didn't know what else to say. But I think the weirdest thing is when you're at home and because they play the show on HBO or other things, and you start hearing your voice, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then, I always say this all the time when you, walk in at nighttime in the bathroom, you step on something, my little girl's got a toy, and it's like me, and it's like you. When you stub a toe, you're like, ah, and then you're like, a little toy laying on the ground, that's you. And you're like, stupid toys. Yeah.
Yes.
My question is, what would it take for Dan and Jason to do possibly like a charity MMA fight or something like that?
Well, I'm not too sure because exhibition fights, I think, would be good, but there's always, it's that thing of exhibition fight. You have to be there to trust the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that. And let me just say, let's not take away from the fact that he is a pro athlete. I do it still as a part of my training. If that were going to happen, I'd have to train to make sure that I'm worthy enough to be in the ring with him, which I would love to do. I think it'd be fun.
Exhibition fight, no problem.
Right.
It would be fun, because there's no egos, but there's a few people out there that was, an exhibition fight
it would be fun,
from a
but
guy Star Wars,
I
and
know.
there's issues there.
Here's what would happen. We would get nothing out of it. We'd get more out of just being able to, me come to his school sometime, go in the back and do some sparring and hang out and do that kind of thing. So, whatever. I mean, if somebody wants to pay us $1 million to do an exhibition fight, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it right now. It'll be a lot of me on the ground, dude, looking like this.
I don't know. It might be a lot of you just going.
Maybe.
And what if I'm just staring back too? So what happened in the fight?
I don't tap.
Just got
I don't
lost
tap.
in his eyes. I don't remember much of it. I thought he was wearing a belt. He was wearing no belt. Oh, I see. I'd say testing fees.
Oh, okay.
I don't charge testing fees at all at my school.
That's
the,
good.
The black belt test
That's
is 12
good.
hours. I'm there. You're there for six years with me. I test you from 8 to 12 hours, and I just don't. Now, nothing wrong with testing fees, but when I had testing fees, I hear my dad, well, they need rent. And I'd be like, I only get a belt like once every 2 years, I didn't want to charge testing fees, so I broke all organizations, broke the pyramid theory where you get testing fees, this guy get it, that guy gets it, Taekwondo,
The testing-
his name called Take Your Dough, sorry, and you get a black belt within 18 months. And the schools that I've been to, like some of the masters that I've been to, I think got great schools. We're all EFC principals. Now, there's nothing wrong with testing fees. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want to feel obligated giving someone their belt.
Personally, I think some of that stuff developed as a way to monetize martial arts. And let's just say this. I mean, I always said it growing up. I taught martial arts for my master instructor when I was putting myself through school. And I realized early on, and we had a lot of chains. We were part of a very successful chain of martial arts schools. But what you realize, you're not going to get rich teaching martial arts, and that can't be the focus of your schools. And so, you do need to make a living though, and part of the way you do that and make it something that mainstream America can take a part in is you monetize it a little bit. That's one way to do it. It depends on the school. I like hearing that you don't charge testing fees. I think that's one of the very few really good schools in America that are teaching martial arts when you hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like somebody who cares about his students.
Yeah. And passion. Like you're talking about passion. Like if me and Dan do something, a movie or whatever, we're doing it from passion. Of course, the money follows, but I believe if you're passionate about something, the money follows. It doesn't matter. I got 1,000 students, 1,300 students underneath me. I never sold out a black belt. If a parent comes to me and tells me my son didn't get this, then they can go to the door. But I'm not in a rude way, but I'm very professional at my school, and when you earn a black belt, you're going to earn a black belt. I cannot send you out in the world with a false sense of security.
That's
tranquility.
it right there.
You know what I'm saying?
It took me 10 years to get my black belt.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me pass my black belt test the first time because all I cared about was the sparring. So it's really important that somebody who's running a school like that has that attitude about his students. And I think so.
Well, Turbo I don't really feel was all me.
Does it have a shield?
And does it have a shield? No, they both don't. Are they red? Yeah, But Zio, I always used to tease the guys on the show. Say, "Oh, well, I'm the star. You see the star." I'm joking around, but everybody get riled up on that. I'm like, dude, excuse me, man, who's got the star on the helmet?
That's funny.
All right, I joke around, but probably Zio. I'll leave the Turbo to what's his name?
I don't know.
TJ?
Oh, Selwyn, that's right.
Character's name. TJ. Yeah,
I used to do the character appearances for the Zio, and I used to hate that star because when you're looking out through the helmet, you can only see portions where things are. And so if I wasn't clearly looking, I would bang into stuff from the right side of my cheek because the star didn't have enough visor there. Hitting my head all the time.
That's true.
At least you're wearing a helmet.
Yeah, it wasn't a real helmet. It's plastic.
Hopefully you guys are having a good time at AFO. Let's hear it for AFO if you guys are having a good time. All right, now hold on. One more thing before we leave. We got to be super loud because sometimes when I go to panels, I hear them like real loud.
Yeah,
so like if we're loud, then all the other panels will be like, oh man, what's going on over there? So we kind of create the hype, you know what I mean? So on the count of 3, we're going to be super loud. Okay?
Yeah, hey, who's manning the doors? As soon as they get really loud, we should open the doors.
All right, Tony, you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Cut. All right. Well,
Thank you guys much.
We'll
Have
call
check
your
in the mail at
agent.
the end of
Thank
the
you.
week.